I make all the girls that I bring home walk through this, because if they don't fit through this, then they probably shouldn't be coming home with me.
I'll make an actual response to this later, but I think the comment section to this is just hilarious. It's like the bat signal for when you done up and flew just a bit too close to the sun with your misogyny. Her name's even pre-entered into the search box. Wait, so is it a joke? Or is it just that he's stating his preferences? Because those are the two excuses I've seen posted by a lot of guys. And if it's a joke, what's the punchline? Explain what's funny about it. And do you think that by calling something a joke, that means you're free to say whatever you want? You're free from any consequences or any critique possible? And if you think he's just stating his preferences, why do you have to degrade people in order to say what you like? So this is the response from the guy that made this video.
I make all the girls that I bring home walk through this, because if they don't fit through this, then they probably shouldn't come home.
Let's talk about it. I have a lot of friends who are high school teachers, and they've been talking a lot about how it's a huge problem with teenage boys that they are obsessed with creators like this, you know, the wannabe Andrew Tates of the world, because grown men don't find this funny. At least grown men who don't hate women don't find this funny. And those groups will make up 95% of this guy's following, because it's definitely not women. And then these young boys and angry men will then take your tactics and apply them to their own lives and get rejected, which makes them more angry, which then just gives you a bigger audience to peddle this kind of crap. And look, man, it's your right to build a platform to be the king of the incels and teenage boys, but it's weird. It's weird. That's the only, you're weird. This kind of thing comes up a lot in comment sections, and I want to talk about it. Not the misunderstanding of the First Amendment, the second half of this. You are right. I am far from the best human being on this planet. I am an imperfect man who does imperfect things, and I'm trying to be better every day. But if the only people allowed to critique toxic ideologies and policies and people are the best people on earth, right, are the perfect people, then nothing's ever going to change. And it shouldn't be a controversial statement for me to say, hey, stop body shaming strangers. If you think that statement represents some inconceivable, unachievable level of value and compassion, then you're one of the people I'm talking about. Stop doing that. So full disclosure, Drew and I are mutuals. So I think you already know where this is going to go, but I think she's hilarious. In fact, I think the reason you don't think she's hilarious has to do with you seeing yourself in the men that she critiques. But that's a you problem, right? Do you think her beautiful boyfriend calls her up on the phone and saying, you know, what was that video about me too? No, he knows who it's about. She and I critique a lot of the same people on this app, and we go about it in very different ways. But even with my gentle parenting style of critiquing, a lot of times I will still get tons of men, the same men that are yelling at her in her comment sections, threatening me with violence, angry at me. And so I don't think it's really the way that she's doing it that you really have a problem with. I think you have been taught that women are supposed to be silent and subservient, and her voice and her platform stands in direct opposition to that notion, but she is not the problem. You may not like her tactics, but she is not the problem. She is responding to the problem.